Hello, I'm Jerry Wise, and I'd like to share this video with you entitled, "My Family is Driving Me Crazy." You know, that's one of the things I hear people talk about a lot. And being a family therapist, I do individual, family, marital, group, but my training is specifically in the family area, that I hear a lot of people struggle with their families, and they complain about how their family is driving them crazy. And over 35 years of helping people change, I've talked with many people who've shared their frustration and emotional upset over how they interact with their family of origin. Not only do they have pains from the past, but they have struggles and difficulties now in how they deal with their family of origin right now. They express strong reactive feelings of anger, frustration, guilt, shame, avoidance, enmeshment, and often hurt surrounding their family of origin, which causes them a great deal of emotional pain, a lot of suffering, and a lot of emotional drama inside. Often they have dealt with their family craziness and family problems for years and feel hopeless about ever feeling things would ever change or that things would ever improve. They don't know how they can interact in a better way with their family. They don't know how to get the pain or the craziness of their family out of them. They just feel very stuck and torn. Maybe you're one of those, and maybe you've started watching this video because you felt how you have complained or asked and expressed how your family has been driving you crazy. Well, I want to tell you, don't give up. If you've tried different approaches and you've tried to deal with your external and internal family of origin issues and felt that internal family craziness inside of you, and you haven't had much luck in changing or feeling better, then what you're trying probably isn't working. And you may need a different approach. The bad news is what you're trying isn't working. The good news is there are approaches, and there's ways in which you can change that craziness that you feel inside around family of origin issues, both from the past and present, in how you interact with them. Here are some of my mottos that I'd like to share with you regarding us and our family of origin. It's never too late to have a happy childhood. It's never too late to change you within your family of origin. It's never too late to get the family craziness out of you. I'm not talking about you changing your family into a non-crazy family. That's probably impossible. But you can get the craziness out of you. It's never too late to learn to stop allowing your family to govern and control your emotional life. It is never too late to get them out of you rather than getting you away from them. And as I mentioned, many people try the geographical cure. Well, let me just get farther away from them. It may bring some temporary relief, but the way family of origin and families operate, they operate within us, no matter how close they are, no matter how far away they are. And if we can recognize and own this, we can really make some changes. It's never too late to make peace within you and your family of origin issues. Powerfulness is not the way to have emotional leverage within your family of origin. Self-differentiation is the way to have emotional leverage. Oftentimes we feel powerless and helpless. There's a way we can regain our power. The more you learn about your family of origin, the freer you will become. Reactivity, which is the absorbing of our family craziness versus observing it, is the best way to keep the status quo. And it's the best way to keep things just the way they've always been. The more reactive we are, the more angry we get, the more we push back, the more we feel guilt and shame, and we push and pull, and the more we do that with our family of origin, the more things stay the same. Most of us have learned to chart a course of reactivity for dealing with this family of origin craziness. Some even think charting this reactive course will remove ourselves from the family of origin craziness. If I just react more, then my family will change, or they'll leave me alone, or I won't feel this craziness inside. All too often, too many therapists who try to help, even with good motives, they try to help us, they end up colluding or participating in this process, or encourage us to be stronger in our reactivity. Most often because they have not dealt with their family of origin craziness or issues. Believe it or not, that is not required to be a therapist. There's no regulation that says a therapist has to deal with their own issues before they do therapy. So I want to mention again, going to a therapist who says, oh, well, if you feel angry with your mother, upset with your father, if you feel like you were wronged by your sister, either just write them a letter, just go to them and tell them that's exactly how you feel. Often that's done out of reactivity. Often it ends up in a mess. Often it creates more problems and difficulties. And so the advice we're given actually causes us to get more deeply stuck in the quicksand rather than actually getting out of it. This reactivity looks like this. Your family member cuts off from you, so you cut off. They bully you, so you bully them back. Or they bully you and then you avoid or cut them out or hide from them. They hurt you, then you hurt them. Or choose the victim role, or stew in the pain. All of this is reactiveness to the family craziness. And it just keeps the madness going. They assert themselves, the family does, to mold you, to give in or passively giving in, and we do whatever they want. This is the peace at all cost approach, but it costs us emotionally and it costs us an awful lot to do that. And again, most of the time, these types of interactions with our family are unconscious rather than conscious. Families like to keep the status quo. Family like to keep what we call homeostasis. Things just as they are. Your role being your role, everybody playing their part in the family drama, and that just continues on. If we resist that, we're looking for trouble. Some families feel so strong to us that we choose to surrender even before the battle begins. Or we choose the passive-aggressive approach and triangle with other family members about the unfair treatment. All of these approaches seem so natural and seem like the right fix. And they fit so well into our paradigm, the way we think about it. But what is unseen is this fact. They all play into keeping the family dynamics, pain, craziness, in place, and in place in you. Whenever we use the family paradigm or emotional imprinting, the family patterns and the family thinking we grew up with, to choose our responses, we do so in the service of maintaining the status quo within our family and its craziness, and us in that craziness. We find ourselves perpetually caught in our family's craziness and continue a no-way-out life and a lack of success, which leads to hopelessness and despair for many people. So what are some of the patterns and processes which characterize this family of origin craziness? Well, first of all, is emotional triangles. You've probably heard about those. I've taught about those in a couple of the videos that I've done. That's where we first learn triangles. Mom gets mad at her daughter Susie, and Susie goes and tells Sister Mary how mean and bad Mom was. And then Mary may go to Mom and say, "Don't you know you hurt Susie?" And then we have a wonderful emotional triangle going on in which that anxiety and pain just gets passed around like a hot potato. Bullying is another pattern that dysfunctional families present as a part of the craziness. Role reversal. And in fact, I've got a video that I'm going to be doing next, which is on role reversal. And that's where the kids end up becoming the parents, or the kids end up taking care of the parents, which keep us stuck and always feeling needy the rest of our lives. So role reversal is very common. In other words, the parents or caregivers say, "You need to be taking care of me and my emotional needs, not vice versa." Parenting into adulthood is another pattern that drives adults crazy. And that's where mom and dad maintain a parenting role even when you're 45 years old. They're saying, "Are you sure you should buy that car? You know, I don't know if that's the right color for your house. I don't know if I like that very much. Are you sure that's a good idea?" And that's that adult parenting that goes on into adulthood well after you've left the home. Role expectations is another part of that craziness that we feel. We're expected, for example, to share everything with them, never expected to disagree with your family, always be loyal. You always must do things even if you don't want to do them. If you're a Catholic, you need to be Catholic. If your family was a Democrat, then you need to grow up and be a Democrat, etc., etc. The role expectations. If you play these certain patterns in the family, you need to keep playing them. Because if you don't, we're going to be uneasy and unhappy about it. We continue this craziness by obeying dysfunctional family rules. Never talk about dad's drinking, for example, when you were growing up. That can even extend into adulthood. I have adults who are 50 years old who can't talk about certain things in their family because that's still taboo. Nobody's supposed to talk about that. So they obey those dysfunctional family rules to have peace at all costs. But it costs them because of the secret. They can't tell their kids, they can't tell other people, they can't share themselves with others. It becomes very restrictive. Privacy is not a problem, secrets are a problem. Addictions and abuse is another part of family craziness. We have Uncle Joe, who's the alcoholic, or two brothers who are an alcoholic, and a sister who is a workaholic or a hero of the family and is working way too hard. We got mom and dad who are arguing and fighting with each other, and dad gambles too much. And so addictions and substance abuse and those kinds of things cause craziness within families. Family consequences and punishments can also be a part of this craziness that we feel inside. For example, the withdrawal of affection. That can be a punishment. We can be punished that way as kids. We can be punished that way as an adult, as adults. If you go buy that car I don't want you to buy, then dad becomes sullen and mad and feels like you don't care about his opinion, and why don't you accept his help that he's trying to give you. And again, then there's the withdrawal of affection. There's shaming, there's scapegoating, cutting people out of the will, being passive aggressive and not inviting you to events or telling you the wrong time for events, never visiting, you need to always come see us, but we're not going to go see you, or favoring one child over another. There can be all kinds of consequences and punishments within family of origins, and this can cause a lot of pain. So what do we do to get this craziness out of us? And I have always believed, work to get your family out of you versus you out of your family. One is interior work, the other is exterior work. And again, I have people that move all the way across the country to get away from their families. The problem is we always take the family emotional field with us. I teach clients how to do the following and to heal and recover from family craziness. I teach them system dynamics because seeing more gives you objectivity and emotional distance without cutoffs. It helps you move away from your family emotionally, but not physically. And that's usually what we're looking for. I want freedom inside. It's not that I never want to see them again. There may be a few families that people say they never want to see them again. But oftentimes, I want to be able to interact with them. I just don't want to have an emotional roller coaster inside every time I do. Observational leverage is what I teach. Teaching clients to learn to observe rather than absorb the family craziness. If you can observe rather than absorb, you have done a significant amount of healing and change. And that can be taught and learned. Use predictability from family systems dynamics that we learn and teach, and assist in doing the work of self-differentiation. Let me repeat that. I didn't say that so well. Learn system dynamics so you can predict how the family is going to react, bounce, how they're going to behave often, how they might feel, so that you can maintain your own sense of self-differentiation because you have leverage in that knowledge. I teach how to borrow from my objectivity and the objectivity of others to gain a sense of self. Others can see what is difficult for us to see because we are fish swimming in our family's fishbowl and we can't see the water. It's the given. I can't see the water I'm swimming in. But somebody outside the fishbowl can look, hey, take a look at that. Do you see that? Do you see that? And then we go, oh, now I'm seeing a lot more. And I'm starting to gain more objectivity. And I teach persistent self-differentiation skills without cutoffs as a powerful force for our own internal change, our own sense of self, reducing reactivity, depression, anger, and past family issues healing. Now I realize I haven't explained all of these powerful dynamics in very much detail. I can't do that in a short video, but I wanted to share them with you as a means of hope that there's a way to begin to change yourself within your family of origin. I wanted to let you know there is healing for family of origin craziness. I want you to call me or email me our YouTube channel. If you live in Indianapolis, come and see me at the office. If not, I offer Skype or FaceTime counseling for those. I have clients all over the world. I often hear from folks who are unhappy with their present therapy and feel they're not making the progress they desire. And nowadays, you're not limited by the therapists in your geographic area. Join the many people who are benefiting from online therapy. If you think, well, maybe it's not so personal. It's very personal. It's just like you talking to me right now. I can hear you, I can see you as though you're right in the room with me. I want to thank you for watching today. Have a great day.